Hey folks, let's go to CSSBattle.dev and do the daily target. I think it's loading. I hope it's loading. Let's do it. Come on. Okay. It's a little slow. Probably on my end. Check it out. All right. Like yesterday, I believe this is two gradients. And then it becomes, what are those two gradients? So let's put the darker color, I think it's a green, on the HTML element and the lighter color on the body element, and then use margins to make what is the minimum size margins to fit all of that. So 10, 11, 12. Okay, so 12, 12, so just 12. Okay. So looking at this, this is the tricky part. So we'll make a conic gradient to start with. The conic gradient, so I'm going to start with two colors, and I'm going to get the sizing right first. This is not something I usually do. I'm going to do 0, 0, 100 pixels, slash 100 pixels, 100 pixels. Typing too fast, no repeat. Okay. So what I would like to do is make that conic gradient be just as big as the thing that I care about most is this little guy here. So it's got to be as wide as from here to here, I believe. I think that's what I want. So, and it's going to be, the center of it is going to be here. So let's see what that looks like to start with. And it's going to be, well, it could be from the top, but it might be just from here. Let's see what that looks like. So we'll do, okay, calling my shot. So move over 10 pixels, and then down 30 pixels, 35, nope, 40 pixels, and then bigger. 200 wide, 220, 50, and then how tall? 200 tall, 200 tall. Okay. So we want transparent, 50%, and then that color 0, 75%. Is that right? And no, wait, is that correct? 50, and then 0. So for the remainder of it, it's going to be transparent. So there it is. Oh, and then it's going to be transparent there. So now we're going to move that center of that so that it's down. So we're going to at 40 pixels, 100 pixels. So that's not right. Lower, lower, lower. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and then over. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. And now I'm going to let it repeat. Is that what I want? Oh, so that's not what I want. I want here. It's close to what I want, but not quite what I want. So that at value then is at 100. And then the width of this is a little bit wider, 260. And that's what I want. Now I have that. And then the second conic gradient, in this case, is a similar one, but not the same. And that's going to be the light blue for 25%, then transparent. To 50%, and then it's going to be that light blue again. I could do it with a from. I'm not going to do that in this case. All right, so what am I trying to do? I want it to be, so this guy, I need the same, do the same thing. So he's 10 pixels over. He's at the top, 0. His width is 200 pixels, and his height is 200 pixels. Okay, and then do a no repeat. And because this is kind of so tricky, we'll add black there. So now we need to change the at value at 40 pixels. 50. 40 is correct. And then probably 40 pixels down as well. Okay. Well, we got that now. And I think the height is just 100%. Yeah, and then we don't need this background position. And then by making that as wide as it is from here to here, we get what we want, I think. So let's make that transparent and then make this wider. Is it 300? 240. Oh, and then we got to let it repeat. So there it is. So now when I make it wider, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 300. Then we get those. Those are the two interlocking conic gradients to create this particular shape. Yeah, so that's two gradients. So we're using margins and the body and the. We could also have done this because well, we need inset box shadows if we did it all on the one visible element. But the margins is what does a constraint here. So let's minify and unit replace and submit. And there we go. Is there another choice? Probably there is. I think it'd be easy to get bogged down with this one, with thinking about doing it with borders. But because things jut out, probably you could use something like border shape to do this. I think that would be really interesting. You could do a border top to do that top one. It's a totally legit way to go. Let's do the blank template and make a single element. And the element that I want to make has a linear gradient. So here, let's see what we need to do this. Linear 90 degrees. Okay, and I'm going to put the dark color on the body. My computer is very slow right now. That is not great. Making this a little bit frustrating. So what I want to do is make this discontiguous part. So where does that go? How about 100? And I think I need a 0 margin on the bottom. And then this is only tall, like 40 tall. Okay. $210. $220. There it is. these margins are going to be like 10, 20, 15, 17. There it is. Okay, so 12. We need a width 0. So by giving this a width, we have this repeat. And at the moment, that gradient is not what we want. 2. So this is 100 pixels wide. And this is a little wider, 220, 40, 50, 60. And then we can do a box shadow. Zero minus 200 pixels, and then this dark color. And there's that. And then I guess, how about a linear gradient? Which is kind of the same linear, no, it's not the same linear gradient at all. 90 degrees, this blue color, and that's 40 pixels. And then transparent. And then we move it over 10 pixels. How about 20? How about 28 or 32? Is that what we want? I guess 32 is what we want. And we're going to need a background color. How about 30? 30. The width is 200 pixels. I'm going to keep doing that even though 80, 300. And then we need to give it a height. How about 80%? Repeat on the x-axis only. And then if we make this taller, 85, 86, 87. No, too tall. So we need we need some kind of a height. So it pokes out more. No, it's 260 tall. I don't know why I said that, but let's submit that and see whether we got it. So that's this very different approach. Linear gradient to do the poles, the up and down poles, and then the rest of it is linear gradient and then a box shadow. It's kind of a goofy solution, but a fun one. Any other changes to make here? Yeah, you make that 75% wide. Blah, 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 blah. I probably can remove this margin safely and not affect it. I did a 0 margin. Oh, no, I can't. Because that then makes the body larger. Okay, final submission. And that's done. Killer. I enjoyed that one. I don't think they've done this shape. Like, I don't recognize this discontiguous shape. Little pieces of it. CSS Battle is done, but this is a fun one. All right. Have a great day. be good to yourself, be good to others. It's rough out there, and go make a webpage. Bye.